What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of Trip It or Skip It with me, Ryan. I am here in the Ozarks to explore a beautiful town I've wanted to come to for a long time. So I want you to come along with me today while we decide whether it's worth it to trip it or to skip it in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. So I'm starting my day here today in what I think is kind of the heart of this town, Basin Spring Park. Now, from what I understand and what I've been reading about this town is that this is kind of the central location in town where everyone gathers. So for instance, during the holidays, this is where like the Christmas tree would be put up, or a lot of the shows would be put on by local artists and stuff like that. It's a really pretty little cute spot. Today, the sun is shining, I'm feeling good, I got some sleep, and I'm excited to explore more of this beautiful town. It's a wonderful fall day. The weather is perfect, so let's see what it's all about. Eureka Springs, Arkansas was founded in the late 19th century and is renowned for its Victorian charm and natural springs. Native Americans considered the area sacred for its healing waters. The town's development began in 1879 after settlers and visitors sought the springs' purported medical benefits. By the 1880s, Eureka Springs became a booming health resort and was the fourth largest city in Arkansas. By the early 20th century, interest in the healing springs waned, but the town reinvented itself as a tourist destination. The entire downtown is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and the town draws visitors for its picturesque setting in the Ozark Mountains. We're going to start our exploration in the historic downtown of Eureka Springs. This morning, everybody is in good spirits. I've also found that everyone in this town, or everyone I've kind of come into contact with, has been really friendly. Maybe it's a southern thing. I don't know. I really like it. Doesn't take much to smile, right? This definitely seems like more of a weekend town. I'm sure things pick up and people come shop on the weekends, but during the week, not a lot of people here. Historic downtown is filled with narrow streets, Victorian-era buildings, and unique shops and restaurants. The town is surrounded by the Ozark Mountains and is a hub for hiking, biking, and tons of water activities. So as you can probably tell, this town is really built into the side of these mountains. So a lot of stairs, a lot of hills, very small town vibe. But although we're in Arkansas, it feels like a little bubble. It seems to be very liberal. It seems to be very open-minded, which in the South in general isn't always the case. What I found out was that 3 times a year, Eureka Springs has a diversity weekend. So there's one in spring, there's one in summer, and there's one in fall, which celebrates inclusivity through parades, parties, and other events. Its commitment to diversity has solidified its place as a beloved LGBTQ+ travel destination. One of the cool things about this town is with its history, it has been able to adapt throughout the years and reinvent itself from a spa destination to a LGBTQ+ sanctuary, now a tourist hub. It's an interesting place with an interesting past, and just walking around these streets, you get a feel for why people have loved this over the course of the past century.
This town is easy to see on foot. However, there are a lot of streets that branch off, so I can see people getting lost. But everything is centered around Basin Square Park, so it's pretty easy to find your way back.
Parking can be a bit difficult when it is busy, so they do have this trolley system that stops along the route all around town. It's like a hop-on, hop-off type of trolley. It even stops at a lot of the hotels along the route, and then it'll bring you into town. This is the Palace Hotel and Bathhouse, and what I believe to be the only remaining actual bathhouse in Eureka Spring, where you can actually sit in the mineral baths and have a treatment. Clearly, with its history of healing powers, the springs all over town are important. They're each named, and they each have a reputation for specific healing properties. This is Sweet Spring, known for its clear fresh water, and it's believed to aid with digestion. Harding Spring has been associated with healing skin conditions. Magnetic Spring has been believed to help with arthritis and other joint issues. And of course, at the heart of Eureka Springs is Basin Spring, which is one of the most popular springs for visitors. For most of us, going to a small town is just a breath of fresh air. You know, we all live busy lives with a lot of people and a lot going on. So getting out and going to these small towns really just helps you recharge. This is definitely a touristy town. I've seen a ton of accommodations, which tells me that during the summer months or probably during the holidays, it can probably get quite busy. But that being said, again, there are a lot of inns, there are a lot of bed and breakfasts. There's even some chain accommodations a little bit further outside of the historic district. So there's a lot of places to stay. So this town has just under 2,200 residents as of the time of this recording. The purpose of this channel was to discover towns that were within, driving distance or a couple hours of a major city. So I flew into Springfield, Missouri, and it was roughly a 2-hour drive. Very hilly, very windy. It is a little bit of a scary drive, but I made it. Definitely consider the time of year that you plan to travel to Eureka Springs. I lucked out in November. The weather is beautiful, but there are times when it is going to be very cold. I've also heard that they get a lot of rain here, so consider that when you're planning a trip here. So I'm definitely going to come back and look in a lot of these shops, but I have a packed schedule because I want to show you all everything. So let's go check out some other things outside of town.
This is where they hold the Great Passion Play, which is one of Eureka Springs' most well-known attractions. It's basically an outdoor theatrical production depicting the last week of Jesus Christ's life. It's set in this huge amphitheater with the backdrop of the Ozark Mountains, and it features a large cast, often exceeding 100 performers, including live animals such as camels, donkeys, and sheep. The play runs annually from May through October. I did miss it, but it does draw about 100,000 visitors per year.
One of the things I was really excited to see coming here was this statue behind me, the Christ of the Ozarks. So it is 67 feet tall and it has a arm span of 65 feet. It took 340 tons of concrete to create, and it's just massive. They say things are bigger in Texas, but apparently Christ, it's bigger in Arkansas.
Another tourist attraction is the Eureka Springs and North Arkansas Railway. It's a historic railway that operates as a heritage and tourist attraction today, but it does have a long past. And it offers visitors a glimpse into the golden age of rail travel in the 19th and early 20th century. Today, the railway offers lunch and dinner rides, as well as narrated train rides. This is one of the attractions that was closed due to the time that I was here in the season. So if I'm ever in the area again, this will be top of my list to make sure I'm here in a time when I can ride the railway.
So I just got to the Thorncrown Chapel, and it's a beautiful chapel tucked up into the hillside. It's a really, really pretty setting. Chapel is beautiful. Basically, what happened was this guy, Jim Reed, a native of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, bought this land in 1971. He was going to build his retirement home on it, but people kept stopping by his land to admire the Ozark Hills. And rather than stop them from coming, he was like, I'm going to build a chapel. Him and his wife built this chapel so people could come and enjoy it. And still today, people are coming all the time. It's really, really a beautiful spot.
ONYX Cave is really, really neat. It's very well preserved, and it's actually one of the oldest public show caves in the state, offering visitors the opportunity to explore these really cool rock formations and this natural underground environment. And although it's called ONYX Cave, the cave itself does not actually contain any true onyx.
So I just got out of the ONYX Cave. I did the headphone tour, which was about half an hour, and then I did the guided tour, which was like another half hour. I did my tour with Pam. She was awesome. It's one of the cooler things I've done, I think. I learned a lot, just really interesting. So definitely check out ONYX Cave. Okay, who's ready for a climb? Holy moly, this is a workout. It's also kind of terrifying. This thing's made out of wood. Oh, but I made it to the top. I'm gonna wrap up my day in Eureka Springs, Arkansas at the top. Did a ton today. I'm ending my day here as the sun goes down at Harley's Lookout Tower. It's a great spot to get an overview of the land and kind of see all the points that we saw today. Christ of the Ozarks is behind me. The Crescent Hotel is over there. Historic Downtown is also over there. You can see so much from up here. Make sure you have change. It's 4 quarters. The change machine at the bottom was not working, so just make sure you have quarters when you come here or you can't get through the gate. And it's also open 24 hours, so you can come at night, but make sure to bring your climbing shoes because it is a climb and your buns and your legs will be on fire. But it's really, really cool. You should definitely check this spot out. I was so excited to be here. I've wanted to come to Eureka Springs, Arkansas for a long time, and I finally got here. I'm walking around this town, and it is a ghost town. It is so odd. Super eerie, but beautiful at the same time. I don't know. It's weird. I guess I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect this. I'm a little freaked out. There's nobody here. This whole town, there's nobody here. I think what I find most interesting about this town is that it looks very lively. It's not like dark. There's lights everywhere. And it just seems like there should be a lot going on at 10 p.m. But there's just nobody here. So it's so odd. But cool. It's like I feel like I have the town to myself to just kind of explore. So I just got to the New Orleans Hotel, which I've heard is another potentially haunted hotel. There was music, and the music literally just cut off when I started recording, which I thought was really weird. I just realized what this town reminds me of at night. If any of you have ever seen the movie House of Wax, where the town is like a real town, but there's like mannequins in the window to make it seem like it's real people, that's what this town reminds me of at night. It's like eerie like that. It's creepy. I feel like I'm being watched, but I hope I'm not. This town is supposedly really haunted. I'm actually heading to the Crescent Hotel after this for a paranormal investigation at midnight. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to film because they have some regulations on what can be filmed and what can't, but I'm excited about it. So I'm just going to check it out and see what it's all about.
The Crescent Hotel is one of the most iconic landmarks in the Ozarks. But what makes it truly fascinating is its reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in America.
All right, so I just arrived at the historic, most haunted hotel in America, the Crescent Hotel, for a paranormal investigation. There's not a lot of people here. It's windy and cold and scary already, and I'm not even inside. So yes, I've already started to freak myself out. But who's ready for a little ghost hunting tonight?
The Crescent Hotel was built as a luxury resort in 1886. As I mentioned, the town itself was known for its springs and their healing powers, so clearly people wanted to visit. This place just has an eerie presence. I mean, again, I'm entering a hotel and there is no one to be found. Where is everyone in this town? I did, however, find a friend. This is Ozzy. Once the interest in the healing waters fell off, the Crescent Hotel struggled to attract guests, so it transitioned into a college for young women from 1908 to 1924. Due to low enrollment and financial struggles, the college closed in 1924, and the building basically remained vacant until the 1930s. In 1937, the hotel was purchased by Norman Baker, and this is where it gets really interesting. Norman Baker falsely claimed to be a doctor, and he converted the Crescent into a hospital and health resort, marketing it as a cancer treatment center. However, Baker used the hotel to administer unproven cures for cancer, exploiting desperate patients. Many people died under his care, and he was eventually arrested in the 1940s. The hospital closed shortly thereafter, leaving behind a dark legacy. The haunted aspect of the Crescent Hotel comes from the Norman Baker era. Clearly, a lot of people died. There is an interesting past about how he kept bodies in the morgue. The Crescent now offers ghost tours and paranormal investigations. It's really built a reputation around being haunted. This is Jinx. She was my paranormal expert for the night. We started off by going over all the equipment we would be using, then we headed down to the morgue. There's Norman Baker now. 2019, landscapers who were working on the Crescent Hotel's property dug up hundreds of glass jars behind the building. These jars contained preserved specimens, including tissue samples and apparent tumors that had been removed during Norman Baker's heyday.
We are doing the paranormal investigation right now, and they seem active. So I just finished my paranormal investigation with Jinx. She was wonderful. We had so much fun, kind of chatting with all the spirits in the morgue, and it was really a cool experience, so you should definitely check it out. She was awesome. right now I'm at the Blue Spring Heritage Center. I guess they do weddings here. This was on the list of must-sees in Eureka Springs as well, so thought I would check it out. It was $17.95 admission. Right here, you can feed the trout for 25 cents, so I think I will.
The Blue Spring Heritage Center is a natural attraction centered around one of the largest natural springs in the Ozarks, known for its breathtaking beauty. The spring itself produces 38 million gallons of water per day and flows into the White River. Divers have ventured into its depths, but much of the underwater cavern remains a mystery.
It's so peaceful. Again, with it being kind of the off-season in Eureka Springs, I've had a chance to see all these places with, you know, in their natural beauty because nobody else is here. So it's been really nice kind of being on my own. This is Bluff Shelter, and this was added to the National Registry of Historic Places. Massive. One thing that I find kind of odd about this area is that even though it's like the peak of the afternoon and it's super sunny, not a cloud in the sky, it always feels like dusk to me. Maybe that's because of the way that the mountains, you know, kind of shape the town. So the town sort of sits down within the hillsides or in the mountains. So you've got all these trees maybe blocking some of the sun, but I just find it very interesting. It kind of messes with my head trying to figure out sort of what time of day it is. I'll look at my phone and I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's only noon or it's only 1 o'clock, when in my head I'm thinking it looks like it's 5 o'clock. So today, day 2 of my Eureka Springs exploration, I really got a chance to get out and check out some of the nature in the Ozarks, and it is absolutely beautiful. So if you yourself are considering coming to the Ozarks, maybe fall would be a great time to do it.
I am terrified of snakes. So, of course, while in Eureka Springs, I thought I would go to Snake World to face my fears.
Yeah, albinos and reptiles usually turn out orange or yellow.
It's a very mom and pop style production. You know, the phone number's on the front door, you call them, they come out from their house next door and show you all their snakes.
He's seeing movement and thinks he's going to get dead.
That scared me.
But I did have a really good time hanging out with Dale and Melina. They were very friendly and really eager to show me all of the snakes. I feel like they're their pets. You could tell they really do care about the snakes that they have. I was probably there half an hour to an hour. By the end, Melina had me holding my own snake. I went back to the Crescent Hotel, but this time it was for an autumn concert by a local artist named Kate Christine. She's a singer-songwriter from Eureka Springs who actually lives in Nashville now, and I couldn't pass up a chance to listen to some great folk music and just have a nice night. And Jasper even came out to greet me. So luckily, I was able to experience the Crescent Hotel in a couple different ways.
I've been based out in Nashville, so I flew back from Nash to come here and play the show. So are you guys excited? Yeah! Cool, awesome! Yeah, do you mind if I play some songs for you? Yes! Existence, no existence, we're crying, and kill us, we're dying, like doing this, only fighting it. But the last one I saw you was real. I give me up, but if you make it back, I'll still make this feel
Tonight there's some music and this town seems a little more lively. Mind you, it is still only just 8 p.m. So I don't know how long or how late they're gonna go. But it's nice that the town's a little more lively. So maybe I just missed this last night. It's not as creepy walking around town when there are other people around. In case you're wondering why I was creeped out walking around this town at night, 'cause there was stuff like this on the walls in the shadows and no one else on the street. Tonight has a different feel.
For my last dinner in town, I took myself to the local flavor cafe. Now, I had heard that the local flavor cafe was the best meal in town by far. So, I had to try it. They actually won me over with their sangria. I did not have a reservation, so I did have to wait a little bit, but it was totally worth the wait. I loved the vibe. The bartender was super friendly. My food was delicious, and I would say it was a great way to go out with a bang. After my meal, I decided I didn't want the night to end just yet, so I wandered over to the Wanderoo Lodge where they were having some live music. This bluegrass artist was awesome. I sat there for a while. I had a flatbread pizza that was delicious and a couple cocktails and just enjoyed my last night in town. For my last morning in Eureka Springs, I headed out to Pivot Rock, which is a natural rock formation located just outside of town. It's really interesting. It's called Pivot Rock and Natural Bridge, and it just has these really fascinating geological formations. So I thought it would be a great spot to kind of wrap up the trip.
So as I'm walking through the forest near Pivot Rock, it just kind of hit me. I'm in Arkansas. Like, I have never thought about coming to Arkansas until I looked online, saw this cute little town called Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and said, I'm gonna go there. Like, it's really cool. I'm just grateful to be here. And I think that for anyone that has that natural explorer inside of them, if you just take a second and explore some other places that you might not traditionally go, you could find some gems in this beautiful country of ours. I spent 2 days here and I did a lot. I went to the ONYX Cave, came to Pivot Rock. I went to the Crescent Hotel. I also had a lot of fun just kind of walking around the historic downtown. Figure out what time of year you want to come here. This is definitely a seasonal town. There were some things I wanted to do that I didn't get a chance to do, like the railway was closed for the season. I wanted to go to Quigley's Castle, which was also closed for the season, but I did really enjoy my time here. I guess I didn't really know what to expect coming to Eureka Springs. I knew it was a little bit more of a liberal, progressive town. Everyone has been so friendly. I felt very welcome. So now that I've been here, I'm curious what your thoughts are. Do you think it's worth it to trip it or to skip it? I think it's worth it to trip it. I definitely do. You know, I spent 2 days here and I had plenty of things to do and things that I still could have done. I do think that a weekend is sufficient. If you're just coming to visit the historic downtown, look at some of the Victorian homes, go into a few of the shops, you can do that in an afternoon. But if you want to get more of an experience, I would say give yourself a weekend, at least 2 days. Give yourself enough time to really enjoy this beautiful little town with such an amazing history. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe below. I would love to get your feedback. If you've been here before, tell me some things that you loved or things that I missed. There's only so much time to do everything you can. So I hope you had an amazing time like I did exploring Eureka Springs, Arkansas. I'll see you next time.